And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? You met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Richter, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go outplace everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's and we work.
Yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can
expression.
you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do
mean,
it? Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know,
Wait, hold up.
You got-
I gotta
when it's
try
time-
this with
when
you.
it- when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think of
you.
something funny
All
and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
Just a sexy eye right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smizing.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look
the
like I need to take a poop or something.
Each words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Hold up, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, all my beautiful people. I hope you all are having a wonderful, thriving Thursday. Not a thirsty one. We got to keep it straight funky. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to be that thirsty out here, y'all. Okay? We're here to quench that thirst, have a good time, and enjoy our Thursday. I'm so excited right now. You want to know why? Because I had a really great time over at the Benjamin Dixon show with Dr. Carl Mack and with the man himself, Benjamin Dixon. If you didn't get a chance to see that, you jump on over there after this show, and take a look at that wonderful show. I had a great time talking about everything that has to do with us, dodging that Rona and all the other stuff that's going on in the world. And it felt good to just kind of get some things off my chest in regards to what's going on in Haiti, to my people in IET. I'm thinking about you guys every single day, every moment that I get. And so it felt good to just kind of talk things out and be with some friends, with some new friends. You know what I'm saying? Man, they went from like Shakespeare to like the Three Musketeers. Okay, I'm very impressed. Wordsmiths over there. I'm telling you, wordsmiths. Anyway, I see a lot of you guys that are coming over from the other show, from the Benjamin Dixon show. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining this show. That really means a lot. Coming in and rating this show. You have no idea how much this means to me and the rest of my team. Please, if you haven't done it yet, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? I got to. Hit that like button, please. Just do me that favor. I see the likes going up fast. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Hit those like buttons. Just crush it. Oh, and also if it's the first time checking out the show and you like this visage, okay, the face, the face, please crush that subscribe button. That would really, really, really mean a lot. You know what I mean? We working hard out here in these streets, man. We're working hard out here in these streets, okay? So please crush that subscribe button, okay? There's a lot to talk about. There's some heavy stuff we got to get into first, and then we got some light stuff, and then of course I have a Ask Pascal segment at the end of the show. So we're gonna be chopping it up, talking about a whole bunch of stuff. So sit down, strap yourself in, get yourself a good cup of joe, and let's get into it, shall we? My brother David is in the house. What's good, man? How you doing, my brother? You're muted. See, like I said, he wants to jump in the pool, but he don't have the floaties on. You feel me? Okay, you are muted now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, okay. Good morning, my brother. What's good? What's a grind? Part 2.
Everything's pretty good here. Hi to everyone in chat. It was a really busy day yesterday, so I didn't get to catch your evening show, but I watched some of the Dixon show this morning. It was pretty good.
It was good, right? You better say it was good. I'm gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
That's fantastic.
No, I'm just playing. I was just there. I was just a fly on the wall. I'm just listening to two brilliant men going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was just there for the color commentary. You know what I mean? I was Snoop Dogg, except not high. You see what I'm saying? And without hair. You know what I mean? And the swag. And the money. Damn. I wasn't Snoop at all. But I tried. Damn it, I tried. Damn it, I tried. But anyway,
There can only be one Snoop.
there can only be one. Highlander, absolutely. There can only be one. Okay? Oh, my Lord. Anyway, we definitely have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover. But before we jump into that, be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'll be back on around 8 p.m. Central Standard, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, right over on Benjamin Dixon's channel to chop it up again and talk about whatever is going on in the world tomorrow. So be sure to go over there and hit his subscribe button and join us over there too for those conversations, because there's a lot of conversations that we're having over there that we're not having over here. You see what I'm saying? So please do that. All right, hit that subscribe button, hit this subscribe button over here too. And we're gonna be cross-pollinating like a mug up in this piece. So get ready and get used to it, because that's how it is, right? That's how it's gonna be, because I said what I said. Right. Anyway, moving on. We got to go into some heavy stuff, y'all. We got to go straight into the conversation of what's going on in Afghanistan. As obviously, as you already know, there's some stuff that has been going on. People are trying to find refuge, and people are trying to flee the country right now as we speak. It is getting really, 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 really serious. There's so much going on with what's going on over there. We have some footage, some shocking footage, especially that has to do with babies, that I'm going to be showing here very, very shortly. But David's got some stories here to tell you guys in regards to what's going on in Afghanistan with the Afghan people. Please tell us some stories, man. What's going on over here, man?
All right, so there's quite a bit going on here. The Taliban has really taken over as a kind of official government at this point, though it's still not clear if they're going to be able to maintain power. However, the Taliban did end up raising their own flag in, I think it was Herat or Jalalabad, one of the provinces there. And unfortunately, two people tried to take it down, put up the Afghan flag, and unfortunately those two got shot by the Taliban. At the same time, the Taliban has been also going on a tour, kind of, with all the news hosts in the country. They're actually doing a lot of PR right now across the newscasters, especially female newscasters, because they are trying to push this idea that they will allow women to have a role in the government, or that women should have a role in the government. To this end, China kind of made a deal with them to leave alone their concentration camps on the border. It's not clear if the Taliban will actually do that. But at the same time, the Taliban has just announced the creation of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. And an emirate is just an old name. It's like a United Arab Emirates. It's kind of under a caliphate. It's an antiquated name. It doesn't quite mean what it used to, but it does just mean, you could say, a religious government. The emir is a religious leader as well as a governmental leader. So on Thursday, Zabiullah Mujahid, who is the official spokesman for the Taliban, announced the creation of the Islamic Emirate state of Afghanistan, along with the desire to have more females in the government, as well as having more transparency by talking with the press, which is what they're doing right now, at least so far. They're also, I mentioned this before, going around trying to pick up extra weapons that everybody has. Because obviously most people in Afghanistan do have an AK-47 or are armed. Even your average person typically does have an AK-47. But Russia is also in talks with the Taliban. Initially, they were deploying troops towards Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, just north, and Turkmenistan, just north of Afghanistan. However, now they are officially in talks with the country, and they have diplomatic relations while the Taliban is going to be taking over the country. The deputy head of Russia's foreign ministry, Alexander Pankin, told journalists on Thursday that Moscow is not considering stepping up troop deployments through its military deals with neighboring nations, such as Tajikistan, which is kind of under this collective security treaty with Russia. According to that Russian diplomat, there is no need to be escalating forces, he says, and he said that there shouldn't be any needs for radical measures, and that basically, God forbid, the need for them arises. And he's basically suggesting that they expect the Taliban to take over the country completely. Biden himself has come out again, saying that he's pretty much standing with the idea that he did a successful pullout, that he was doing the right kind of thing. But at the same time, we didn't really fully pull out. So immediately after, Biden did perform a bombing run within Afghanistan. And apparently there are still about 15,000 troops or 15,000 citizens in the country, as well as about 5,000 troops. The UK just sent back some more troops, as well as Germany, to finish evacuating their civilians, because there are still American civilians there that we did not evacuate first for some reason.
Yeah, which, by the way, let's pause on that for a second, because we did talk about this before. When we talked about how why they left, and the procedure, the way that they left was just a little bit fast, obviously. And I feel like, as we've said before, and we've said on the show multiple times, was not fully well thought out, right? It wasn't fully executed in a proper way, right? They just ripped the Band-Aid off, for crying out loud. There are still thousands of people, thousands of American citizens that are still stuck in Afghanistan.
Yes.
And what's crazy to me is it was almost like my bad. My bad. We forgot some people, a couple thou. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, I get it. We shouldn't be over there fighting a war. Like, if they're not interested in fighting for themselves, what's the point, right? We've been there for 2 decades, for crying out loud. I get that part. But you leave, you rip the Band-Aid off, and you leave thousands of American citizens. Thousands. It was not a well thought out procedure, was not a well thought out move here. And the fact is, it's just like, sorry, my bad. It just sounds so crazy to me. And now it's like, what are these people, what are these American citizens going to have to do to leave, to get out of this country? How are they going to be able to get out of this country in one piece? David.
Well, Biden did mess up terribly on that part.
We can say it. We can say it. We can say it, baby.
I mean, really here. Okay, so the UK said Boris Johnson kind of said the same thing as Biden for some reason, as well as Angela Merkel. They all, for some reason, thought that the Afghan National Army would defend the government in Kabul, even though their military advisors and intelligence advisors all told them that would not happen. And it did not happen, not even close. Within a day, the ANA was either gone or allied with the Taliban, giving them their new weapons that we gave them. I mean, it's obviously backwards. You don't evacuate the guards before you evacuate the people they're protecting. I mean, they even did this to our embassy. They left the standard Marine Guard, which is fairly small, and it's really only there to protect personnel. But they left that, but they withdrew all the troops that were additionally supposed to be there. I mean, there's still some troops in Afghanistan. It's we don't know exactly where they are, and I don't think they'll tell us, because at the numbers we have there right now, the ANA and Taliban could run over any base that they have going on. So, I agree completely. Like, that's the biggest mess up. There was hundreds of interpreters killed that worked for us. Because Biden decided not to evacuate them until a few days later. And now we're airlifting about 9,000 people out a day, but there's still 50,000 Afghans there who work directly for the government, not just as translators and interpreters, but as, base support and cooks and things like that. And a lot of time they use, they do the laundry on the bases and stuff. Like, there's a lot of like blue collar jobs that Afghans will come onto bases for, at American bases. So those people are in danger as well. Specifically the ones that made any help towards fighting the Taliban. But no one thought the ANA would stand. I certainly did not. I don't know why the leaders were surprised. I don't really believe they were. I think they just they would have let this go if the news didn't try to make it look like such much of a disaster. They probably would have never said anything. And it is a disaster, don't get me wrong. But he did succeed in withdrawing us. Unfortunately, all of our weapons well, not all of our weapons, but all the weapons we gave to the Afghan National Army are still there. They were trying to take rifles from some of them, but like I said, everyone in Afghanistan has a rifle, so they're kind of scared to give theirs up because that's their only protection.
Right.
But at this point, so the Taliban is trying to form an official government. It's not clear if they have enough central control to actually keep it running successfully. But they're doing all the motions that you would kind of expect. And like I've said before, they already had a shadow government in place, which kind of gives them more control over Afghanistan than you ever saw in Kabul. And of course, just to remind everyone, the president of Kabul, who was supposed to lead the ANA, immediately fled on a helicopter. He kicked out his aides so he could fit more treasure onto the helicopter and fly away.
He took all of his riches. Everything, including all the decoration, all the little trinkets that he had in on shelves and stuff, everything. He wiped the entire place clean. He took everything but the kitchen sink with him. You know what I'm saying? He at least had a heads up. He knew what the heck was going on, and that this was about to happen. That's why he straight up scooped up everything he had and just dipset. Now, what's crazy to me, though, is because here's the question I have. This is the question I have. OK, in light of everything. Right. And I'm just talking about the American side. OK, what's going on in Afghanistan right now is devastating, is absolutely terrible. The reaction of the Afghan people is absolutely it's heart wrenching. And I'll be showing you guys here in a second what I mean by heart wrenching. OK. The reaction is not so great. Yes, we could sit here and say that the troops leaving, okay, the American troops leaving Afghanistan, you could say is quote unquote successful, but was it really successful though? Let me just add on to that question, compound question. If you still have thousands of American citizens that are still there, would you consider this a successful move, a successful evacuation of American citizens, American troops, America, any semblance of America on Afghanistan soil? That's the question I want to ask to everyone, to the fam, to all you lions that are watching right now, etc. Would you consider this a fully successful move? David, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this before I throw in my 2 cents.
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm just saying I'm not crazy. You know, they say,
Right.
oh, it's a successful move. Is it really though? Is it really though? I beg to differ.
We should not have been supporting the ANA for so long. They've killed a lot of Americans. We knew they wouldn't work for America. And we knew that the people who did help us, who aren't in the Afghan National Army, would be killed and probably have their information leaked by the Afghan National Army. Unfortunately, that's happened a lot. I've caught them leaking personal information to the Taliban. They're a huge danger to people, and some of them. I mean, there are some ANA who are there to kind of help their country and make it a better place, but unfortunately, they're in the minority. So no, we messed this up terribly. We should have changed the way we were handling the ANA about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. The last 3 presidents have including Biden, have a huge responsibility for how poorly things have developed there. No, I believe they knew this would happen, and I believe that they only changed their story because the news was talking about it more than they expected. If there wasn't video coming out of Afghanistan, I honestly believe Boris Johnson, Merkel, Biden would have all remained completely silent on what's going on out there. But they did mess up. Like I said, you don't remove the guards before the people they're protecting. They have about 5,000 troops, around 4,000 troops protecting the airport, supposedly in Kabul, which is the main international airport still. I don't think the one in Kandahar is operating anymore. Yeah, we messed it up really bad. They should have removed everyone first. Like, it doesn't make sense to leave 15,000 American civilians who aren't trained to protect themselves, as well as 50,000 Afghans who were completely dependent on us because they were directly working for us. We abandoned all of that, and And we knew the Taliban would be taking over Kabul very quickly, especially after the president ran away because there was no one to command the army anymore or command the government. They all kind of ran off because they knew that the Taliban would probably have beheaded them. They are different tribes. And even most people in the north who come from the same tribes as them consider them corrupt warlords. So they don't have much support anywhere, even amongst their own race. So yeah,
Yes.
this was just handled terribly. The thing, we should have changed the way we were dealing with the ANA over a decade ago. And if Biden was planning on this, he says he's continuing Trump's plan, which probably started a total of 3 years ago now. Well, they both messed up in the way they handled it. They didn't really have a plan. They were just pulling people out, which is good. We want them to pull the troops out, but there's a whole lot more out there than just the troops. There's a lot of civilians, and a lot of those, like I said, 15,000 American civilians. Those are Americans, most by birth. Some of them are Afghans that have become Americans through normal legal means, but they are still American citizens. And for some reason, it's just kind of like Germany did with their citizens. They decided to leave them there and pull out the troops, which makes no sense. I mean, that's why I don't think it was on accident. They knew this was going to happen. There's absolutely no way they thought the Taliban would stand down and let them just casually leave.
They had full heads up. I mean, they knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? A little birdie told them something. You know what I mean? They knew something. There was some sort of heads up. If the president was able to pack up all of his stuff, everything, gut out his entire palace of valuables, get onto a plane, kick out one of his people, one of his assistants or whatever,
two of his people, my bad, so that he can bring in more of his riches onto that plane. Yeah, they had a full-on heads up. They knew. You know what I'm saying? Just like Edward Green just said, they knew. They've been known. You know what I mean? Mark S said something. I pulled it up earlier, but I thought it was kind of funny. He said they shouldn't have booked with Spirit Airlines to get home from Afghanistan. Real talk, as far as the American citizens and everything go, you know, it's a funny joke. But anyway, no, but seriously, on a serious level, there's a lot of people out here, a lot of Americans that are terrified, fearing for their lives, hiding out somewhere so that they don't get found by the Taliban. I've been watching on CNN. They've been doing an amazing coverage of what's going on, like boots on the ground coverage of what's going on over there. There's a reporter, I don't remember her name, but it is absolutely, it is wild to watch what's really going on out there and how much chaos and mayhem is going on in Afghanistan right now as we speak. And, you know, like I said, I just wish that as Kev Z 247 said, this is so effed up, right? It is. It's so messed up, this whole situation. And I wish that this would have been a different, a much smoother transition instead of, oh, my bad, we forgot all these other people. All of our other American citizens, whoops, our bad. That's the thing that's terrifying to me. We have a $5 super chat. I want to say thank you to Mark Saunders. The U.S. has a massive intel community, and that is not including similar units in the military. I cannot accept the answer we didn't know. You know, and the thing is Mark Saunders, I'm with you on that. You know, there's just, it just seems so strange that it's more like a, you know, let's just get our troops out of there. Yeah. I know we have other, you know, we got American citizens over there, thousands of it. Yeah, that's fine. Just get them out. Just get them out right now. And then when he gets sat down and talked about it, we didn't realize, we didn't know. That's where I go, hey, I'm with them leaving. I'm with him pulling out the troops. I'm with it all day long. But when you automatically forget the innocent lives, the innocent American citizens that are over there, that are in the middle of this battlefield now, and you just say, oh, I plumb forgot. What? That to me is lazy. That to me
is not a good look. So
And
like I said, I'm with the troops leaving, but this should have been cleaner. This is very, very messy. And now Biden has to speak up for this. Now he's going to have to pay for this. This is bad on his record. David.
Yeah, and it's not just Biden. I mean, he did mess up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending him whatsoever.
Right.
But this was I would say a NATO-wide problem. It happened. Well, as far as I've read, I mostly read about UK and Germany, but it did happen with other countries. But both Merkel and Johnson did withdraw their troops the same way while they still had citizens there. Merkel had to send back 2 planes overnight to finish evacuating Germans, and the UK decided that they had to send more troops back because they need to protect their people before they get them out of there. So this was a whole NATO thing. I think it might be to kind of maybe try and encourage people to want to go back to war in Afghanistan, because I am seeing a lot of news articles about that. And that's weird. But it is part of the military industrial complex, so which is a real thing. This isn't like a conspiracy theory. Presidents have talked about it. It's very profitable. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was bungled so that they could justify sending those troops back, just like Biden did. And now Biden's talking about keeping them there a while longer. So this is kind of a way for them to look like they tried to leave, but not actually leaving, with just causing more problems. So I would blame all of NATO and the U.S. On Afghanistan right now, but especially the UK and Germany, along with America.
Absolutely. I mean, no matter what, it's still messy. And the thing is that his face, President Biden's face is in the forefront of all of this. All right. No matter what, if it's somebody else pulling the strings and he's just the puppet, it doesn't matter. It's still his face that we are looking at. It is still him that has to answer to this debacle, to this mess up, to this oversight, which is still incredibly insane in my personal opinion. And this is the other part that really is upsetting me. All right. Because there is another story that we need to look at on top of this to show you the devastation, to show you how badly people are trying to leave the country of Afghanistan. We got to look at this particular article here. It is now, I don't normally do things from like the Daily Wire, but this particular one has something that is just devastating to look at, and we have to look at this. But it says Afghan women are throwing babies over barbed wire to save them. Okay, so there's a video which I'm going to show you guys, and it's not showing them throwing the baby. I will not show any babies being thrown here on this show, but there's a video showing women passing their babies along so that these babies can get thrown over a fence, so that these kids, so that their children could be evacuated. So heartbreaking video from Kabul, Afghanistan, shows people passing their infant children to others in the crowd ahead of them at the Kabul airport, hoping that the babies and toddlers will be evacuated. And this is just, like I said, absolutely, this is just absolutely heartbreaking. You see what I'm saying? They're literally passing babies over, children, toddlers, babies, infants, their next of kin, so that they can toss them over barbed wire so that their children can find refuge, can find safety. This is how bad it is right now. This is the people of Afghanistan. These are not American citizens. These are the people of Afghanistan. Obviously, we have been seeing videos, photos, etc., of people clinging onto planes, falling off of planes, fighting to get the last seat in planes, them rushing towards the gates of these airports to find refuge, to find salvation. Mm-hmm. Now we are seeing them. Well, obviously you don't see it in the video, thank you, Jesus, but now they are literally tossing their children over the fence so that those kids could possibly get evacuated from this country. This is just insane to me, y'all. Absolutely insane. David, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unfortunately, Afghanistan's always been a dangerous place for babies. Even if we look at the Russian invasion just before the U.S. one, basically, they were targeting children to kind of keep new babies. They were targeting babies to keep basically new Afghans from being born. And they also also had Taliban going out through the countryside, would often recruit young children within toddler age or so. So this has always been a problem. I mean, some of the women I've worked with told me that their parents had to like basically feed the babies opium so they wouldn't cry when the Russians or the Taliban were near. And most people in the countryside think Americans are still Russians. They don't know we're a different country. They have no clue where these two places are, Russia and America. So we're just kind of the same thing to them. And then we kind of look the same. So I can see that. Even the uniforms are somewhat similar. But yeah, so it's always been a dangerous place there. Another guy I worked with talked that he had to sit on his house with his AK-47 for a week just to keep someone from trying to come and take his daughter when she was a young child. So this is unfortunately common in Afghanistan. And there's also a large slave network made up of selling mostly young boys, but a lot of young girls as well.
To me, it's like what bothers me is I'm seeing these children. I mean, I see that if you rewatch this video, this baby is just crying as it's being taken away from its parents, I'm assuming, and is being just tossed over to maybe some unknown person. We don't know obviously we don't know the full story here, but it's absolutely crazy to me that this is what the people of Afghanistan have resorted to, that the desperation now is that much more palpable, that much more real. It's just, to me, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about it. It like I said, it's heartbreaking. And I'm going to continue to keep saying that if we are continuing to see images and moments like this captured on video and being shared throughout social media and throughout the world, it's going to continue being heartbreaking. There's a lot going on. And like I said, I agree with the troops being taken out. Absolutely. I just wish things were done in a much smoother fashion. The people of Afghanistan, I feel like they deserved a little bit of a smoother transition. The people of the American citizens that are serving their country over there to help that country, that are left behind right now, deserved better respect than this. And now we have people who are terrified for their lives, trying to figure out where they're going to go, what they're going to do, maybe hiding in plain sight. We just don't know. So, of course, we're going to keep our fingers on the pulse of this whole story. It's, like I said, it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking how this reaction, and it seems to be this ongoing domino effect. And it's not getting any better. It seems to be getting much worse. I just wish it was a smoother transition. Real talk. Real talk. Real quick, before we jump into our next story, I did want to say real quick that as far as some updates on Haiti, I did talk about it on the Benjamin Dixon show, but I will be talking about it here as well. We have talked about it on multiple occasions, but now the toll, or the death toll, is now past 1,900 people. It is basically just about to hit 2,000 souls that have been lost due to the earthquake that happened this past weekend. And of course, we don't know anything more about that yet. As they dig through the debris, the rubble, and all that, we're finding out more and more information. As far as my own immediate family and everything, as on a personal level, my father's side so far has checked in and said thumbs up, everybody's okay. But as far as my mother's side, we have lost a few people, but we have not found out any more information. We're still trying to find out if people are still if people are okay or not. We're still trying to figure out the well-being of certain family members, because I do have family members that do live in the southern part where that earthquake took place. So fingers crossed, hopefully everybody's okay. But of course, fingers crossed to the entire country and to where that earthquake was, to the people of Haiti. I love you guys, and I'm praying for you all. And there are other organizations, if you're looking to donate and all that, just be careful on where you go and donate. That's all I can say. Because there are some places that will just take the money pretty much and run. So just be safe, be smart with where you go to donate. Or if you want to do something, maybe it is canned goods, maybe it's soap, maybe it's bottled water. It's things that they can actually use that are tangible right now. Right now, people are hungry, people are thirsty, people are starving, people are hurting right now. So anything that you can do to contribute, I say please do so. And I say thank you ahead of time. All right. But if you can do anything that is tangible, that isn't just sending out money real quick to go into the, donating to a GoFundMe that may seem a little wonky, please go mail out the perishables, things that people can use, sustenance, things that people can use to survive during these trying times. Because a lot of people right now have no shelter, have no place to stay. They're just basically sleeping on the ground with nothing right now, or with anything they can find. So I just say, I urge every single last one of y'all, if you have any charitable bone in your body, just be sure to look up those organizations, and please give. Please give. There's a lot of people that can use it. David.
Yeah, and I would also just say try to avoid donating directly to a Red Cross or Red Crescent, because they do just use a lot of that money for themselves.
I didn't want to say it, but you said it. It's okay. It's all good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who needs to say it. You know it too. You up to date. Congratulations, Hercules. Yeah. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Kahana made I don't know about this one, so maybe you know some information, but she said that or maybe I think it's a female name, I'm not sure, but the Clinton Foundation, she said keep an eye out for the Clinton Foundation so they don't steal donations from Haitian brothers and sisters. They say the Clinton Foundation stole millions during the 2010 earthquake.
That is facts.
I've never heard about it.
You didn't? What?
No.
My brother.
The news doesn't talk about the Haiti that much.
No, they do not. Why? Because I'm not going to go there. You know what I'm saying? The streets is listening. These pipes are listening. There's the pipes have ears. But long story short, there have been millions of dollars that have been sent, that have been raised for the earthquake in 2010. All right, and other disasters that have happened in the past. There's just, all I'm saying is there have been the Clintons, when Bill Clinton was in office and all that, there's so much that was owed to Haiti back then. Still to this day, Haiti is still waiting for that money. They're going where the money's at. Okay. Then in 2010, earthquake happened. Bunch of money was raised for that. From my understanding, five or six houses were built off of the hundreds of millions of dollars that were raised. And yet the only thing to show for that money were 5 or 6 houses that were built in Haiti. 5 or 6, hundreds of millions of dollars, 5 or 6 houses. Makes no sense. And we talking about Haiti. Supplies are different. The labor's different. All that. It's not hundreds of millions of dollars to build 5 houses, 5, 6 houses. That just doesn't make no damn sense. Okay. Makes no sense. So for me, when you look at Red Cross and the like, the big ones, you know what I mean? The big bad boys, how much are they really going to do anything for the country of Haiti when they have a bad record so far. The track record's not great.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about the Red Cross a lot in 2010.
Oh, yeah.
At least from what I remember, the news was focusing on that. I wouldn't be surprised, or I might have just missed it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was they were trying to kind of cover for Clinton back then. I mean, they still do.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, there was money that was supposed to be sent basically to Haiti to help them get out of debt, basically. And then nothing happened. Nothing. Haiti was like, yo, we're so thankful for the monies, but where the monies? And Clinton was too busy having fun in the Oval Office. I said it. That's why Haitians feel some type of way about the Clintons in general. Because it was like, where did the money go? Where the money goes? Where it at? We could have used that back then. We could still use it right now, man. Where is it at?
He probably used it to buy all the farms in America, which he just did.
Yep.
Not too long ago.
Yep.
See, he actually controls the most food production in the Americas now. And where's that food going? For like a supposed philanthropist or whatever. He's for someone that also owns all the farms, while we are still paying some farmers more money to destroy crops than to sell them,
Right.
and we still have people in Haiti going hungry. I mean, Bill Clinton owns the vast majority of the farms in the U.S. now. He could definitely fix that just because of the amount of waste that comes from tax benefits of destroying crop.
You know what really grinds my gears is that there are people out here that don't fully know what's going on with Haiti. They just go, oh, this is a third world country, and the kids with flies on their face type stuff. And it's like, no, Haiti is a wonderful, resilient, beautiful country that has been ransacked, been ran through. All of its natural resources have been bled out, have been sucked dry out of that soil. And the people there, all they want to do is survive and be happy and be fruitful. But all these different countries have come in and destroyed that country. Then on top of that, the powers that be, the leaders of that country have done very terrible, heinous things to the country for their own wealth, for their own greed. It is so frustrating when it comes to talking about this beautiful country that I come from, that my family comes from, that there's a lot of us out here. There's a lot of Haitians out here. You better be careful. I'm kidding. But there's so much beauty in that country. And every single time people, when they think of it, when people refer to Haiti, everyone just thinks of people floating on spare tires, trying to find refuge in Miami or, in Florida, so on and so forth. It's so frustrating because my country is gorgeous. My country is beautiful. My people are absolutely passionate. I don't want to get up. I'm already on the soapbox. I'm going to step down off the soapbox, but you know what I'm saying. And it frustrates me when I hear about my people in dire straits like this, and yet still somebody within the powers that be will find some way to swindle that money for their own financial gain. And it's so frustrating to me. This is the reason why I say to you guys, please, if you're going to go and be charitable and be a giving, wonderful group of people, I urge you 100,000 times over, find the right organizations that you're going to donate to. That's why I keep saying, hey, for right now, what people really need right now is either boots on the ground, putting hands in the dirt to dig out through the rubble, or they need perishables. They need food right now. The money can come later to rebuild. But for right now, the people of Haiti, especially right at ground zero, they need water. They need food. They just need the simple things to survive. That's all I ask for right now. And there's plenty of organizations that are real, that aren't fake, that will help. And you won't sit there going, where did that stuff go that I sent out? No, it'll go to the right hands. And it will be dispersed to the people that are in dire, dire need of that stuff. Anyway, oh, hold on. We got another super chat. Jeremiah Schaefer, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Right in the nick of time, right before we go into a very short commercial break. What's the best way to get resources like that to Haiti? We do have we did put up a link a couple days ago. I think it was Monday when we talked about it. Of course, David, if you can pull up that link again and put it in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated during this very quick commercial break. We're going to take a small break. Thank you again for the $5 super chat, Jeremiah. Thank you for that question. Very good question. I'll make sure that is in the chat so that you guys can please do your due diligence, take a look at it, check it out and all that, and see what works for you, what you can give, what works for you guys. Okay. It would be really, really appreciated. But we're going to go into a very quick 30-second commercial break. Okay. But when we come back, we're going to lighten it up a little bit. All right. We got to talk about Lizzo. Yes, I said it. We're going to talk about Lizzo and Daniel Craig and how he doesn't want to give money to his kids. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, that's why is everybody so damn frugal with their monies? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. You got monies. Just give it. But anyway, we got to get going. We'll be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
The problem with coyotes is they're super unpredictable.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for calling Wildlife Command Center.
My name is Michael Baran, also known as Bare Hands Baran.
We rescue people from wild animals, but we also rescue the animals from the situation that they've gotten themselves into.
My dad's approach to wildlife management could be considered a little bit more wild.
Working barehanded is just easier on the animal.
No.
Working with my son Chance,
Working with a lot of dedicated technicians.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really special.
we're going to be able to release this guy. He's going to be just perfect.
That's why I wake up every morning excited to start a brand new adventure. Whoops. And I wouldn't trade this job for anything in the world.
All right, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation today. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done it yet, please go hit that like button down below. Also, please go and crush that subscribe button. All right, I do this show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So please jump on over here after Benjamin Dixon's show. All right, I'm going to be on tomorrow morning over on the Benjamin Dixon show at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, my time. That's when I'm going to be on Benjamin Dixon's show. So please go and, subscribe over to that channel as well. That would be really, really appreciated. And I do appreciate all you guys out here that are flooding in, jumping in and being a part of the conversation today, because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of craziness going on internationally and nationally as well. And one of the crazy things that's been going on is this whole discussion and this whole topic about Lizzo. Yeah, I know you're going, but why? Why are we talking about Lizzo? Well, the reason why we're talking about Lizzo is we got to talk about mental health. All right, we got to talk about mental health, and obviously, there's a big discussion that's been growing recently in regards to the idea of who deserves high value men and who doesn't. Okay. It's a very weird, interesting conversation. And I feel like we need to talk about it, y'all. So we're going to work a little bit backwards here. All right. So just bear with me, ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Ride with me. Okay. We got to talk about this whole situation with Lizzo. Now, Facebook has deleted hate speech on Lizzo's posts amid bullying after a song release. Okay. Now, she just recently put out a music video with Cardi B called Rumors. And like I said, this is just a very interesting situation. Let's go into this article really quick, and then we're going to talk about this. Does she deserve a high-value man or no? That's the question, okay? And we do have her breakdown, too, on video. So we will be looking at that as well. Okay, you ready? Let's dive into this rabbit hole. All right. Facebook is removing hateful and harassing comments on Lizzo's social media accounts in the wake of an onslaught of internet trolls bullying her for her weight, race, and more. The singer has been candid on social media in the last few days, sharing with fans that it's what it feels like, what it's felt like to be on the receiving end of hate. Many online critics have been fat shaming the singer and making racist remarks against her following the release of her recent collaboration with Cardi B on the song Rumors. Okay, and if you haven't heard the song, I think the song bangs. I think it's a good song. You know what I'm saying? All right. In an emotional video, and in an emotional video about what's been happening in her comments on Twitter and beyond, the Truth Hurts rapper said through tears, people who have something mean to say to you, and for the most part, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't care. I just think when I'm working this hard, my tolerance gets lower. My patience is lower. I'm more sensitive, and it gets to me. She also posted a TikTok video speaking out the harmful mammy trope, a stereotype of black women who were nurses for white children, particularly in the southern United States, which has been used against her in the recent days. Now, we got to pull up the actual video so that you guys can see this for yourselves, and see her breakdown. And like I said, let's take a look at this, shall we? Hold on one second. All right, here is the video.
Except is y'all doing this to black women over and over and over again, especially us big black girls. When we don't fit into the box that you want to put us in, you just unleash hatred onto us. It's not cool. I'm doing this shit for the big black women in the future who just want to live their lives without being scrutinized or put into boxes. I'm not going to do what y'all want me to do ever. So get used to it. But what I will do is make great music and be a great artist and continue to uplift people and uplift myself.
Okay. So right now, she has been getting a lot of backlash, as you see right here, because of this song, because of her weight, so on and so forth. I do have another clip that I want to show you. It's the actual breakdown. So let's take a look at that before I throw in my 2 cents. But really quick, I want to say a big thank you to Gary Medalist for the $20 super chat. Whoa, wait a second. Another one. Thank you so much, Gary. And another one. Thank you again, Gary, for the three $20 super chats. Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot. Seriously, thank you. But let's continue on this story. Okay, this is the actual breakdown. Here we go.
I have people who have something mean to say about you. And for the most part, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't care. I just think when I'm working this hard, My tolerance gets lower. My patience is lower. I'm more sensitive. And it gets to me. There's
So, as you saw in that, and of course in the quote that I spoke on earlier, she's going through some things. She's going through some things. All right now. Okay. Now, there's a lot that I could say right now in regards to this whole situation. There's a lot. There's actually a lot I can say about this, but it's a tough one, right? Because a part of me wants to sit here and say, well, listen here. This is part of the job. Part of the job is being in front of the limelight. If you're in the limelight, part of the job is is getting the trolls, getting the backlash. If you were, what the standard criteria or the standard bullet points of what beauty is, to the mainstream world. If you were just like, if you were Rihanna, right? You still are going to get a good amount of backlash from trolls. Trolls exist no matter what. Doesn't matter if you look perfect in the eyes of what they say the standards of beauty are or not. You're still going to have haters. Haters gonna hate no matter what. Now, I can understand her feeling some type of way because she's just exhausted. I can understand the feeling of being burnt out and feeling like, well, I'm doing all this work and I feel like I'm not getting to where I need to be, so on and so forth. I understand her feeling, but at the same time, instead of it being her going, oh, the more I do this, my patience wears thin, shouldn't it be the opposite? Shouldn't you be building thicker skin, evolving, knowing that, okay, trolls are going to troll. Hate is going to hate. People are going to go in on you no matter what. Even if you were 90 pounds, then they'd sit there and say, or 125 pounds, they'd still sit there and go, well, wait a second. You too small, or you're too thin, or you too big for this, whatever. There's always somebody that's going to be a critic, right? Nothing that you do is going to be perfect, right? But she's also getting a lot of backlash now because in the song, she talks about getting with names like Drake and the sort. And a lot of people are sitting here going, well, no high value man would date a woman, would date Lizzo. Not a woman like Lizzo, Lizzo. Okay? We got to talk about this because I beg to differ. I beg to differ. We have somebody who is out there in the limelight. I think she's a beautiful woman. I think she's incredibly talented. Yes, I think she gets a little overzealous with the whole proud of her weight thing. I think sometimes it gets a little extreme, right? But then again, she's doing the same thing that Cardi B would be doing, right? Or any other artist that's out here, showing every body part under the sun. So why can't she, right? Because she's beautiful and she's proud of her size. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if she is really proud of her weight anymore. It seems to me like whatever she's reading on the social medias is getting to her now. I mean, we've been hearing these backstories of her going on juice cleanses and trying to lose some weight and so on and so forth. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying to lose a few lbs and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that. In my personal opinion, there's nothing wrong. We're all trying to self-improve, right? We're all trying to evolve into something better, right? But then when you go on and you have these breakdowns in public breakdowns on social media to your fans, it seems like she's saying something else, that she's not proud to be who she is, yet that's what she puts out there, right? The other part of it is that she's the only one in her game that is her size and her look. Like I said, not saying anything bad about that. But she came out and she was proud of it. Now it seems as if she is changing her tune. Pun intended, not intended. High key, low key. David, what are your thoughts on this? Unmute your mic.
I guess I kind of agree with you here. When I was younger, I was definitely overweight. I was like 250 pounds. I didn't lift or anything then. I'm only like a 180 now, just to give you an idea. And I kind of did the same thing then when I was proud of my weight or whatever, thought it was cool. But that wasn't really the case for me. I don't know about other people. For me, it was just this form of insecurity. And I began feeling more positive about myself after I addressed that. So this could be the same situation for her. But I guess some people, well, I don't know. Like you said, I think most people just get thicker skin when they read these kind of comments. I mean, we get them a lot in this channel, either directed at you or me for being liberal or race or whatever. We get weird comments. And I just kind of think they're funny, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially if they're talking about me, I think it's funny. But yeah, she does seem somewhat insecure here. But at the same time, this is kind of becoming a cultural phenomenon, especially amongst plus size models. Not so much, other careers, but that is one I've noticed that's been kind of the war of body positivity right now, where there is a lot of push from one side. That women should be, specifically women, but everyone in general, but it's mostly about women, should be comfortable with having more weight or being higher, just having a higher number for their weight. And there's a lot of pushback, it seems like, at least as far as modeling goes. I think Tess Holliday is probably one of the most popular, but there's a lot more. And I think that kind of encapsulates the this cultural war that's going on right now, where one group sees it as an excuse for laziness and to be fat, and another group sees it as a way to be proud of what they are. And so they kind of go to war over this, and that's where a lot of these trolls come from. I think it's it is I think coming from a bad place for most of these people talking negatively about body positivity. They are just kind of want to make fun of fat people or overweight people. But that is kind of seems like this cultural war that's going on right now. And I do agree with you. She doesn't seem terribly confident in her body size, based on how she responded. But unfortunately, this is a thing. And if somebody, and on social media, it is definitely a thing that targets Black women as well. I've noticed, especially, at least from what the reports I've read on TikTok and Facebook. I don't use either of them, so I'm taking this from news reports I've read. But it does seem that there's also a racial target, at least in those two specific social media groups.
Yes, and and the thing is okay, she's unique. She goes against the grain of what we see in pop culture as what beauty is. And what a pop star should look like, aesthetically speaking, within the confines and within the structures of what the general public says what beauty is. She's a big, beautiful woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think she's dope. I think she's incredibly talented, and I think she's got some longevity as far as her career goes. As long as she keeps her mind right, as long as she keeps her energy and her vibration, as long as she protects that, as long as she protects her energy and her vibration, she'll be just fine. She'll kill it. She'll continue to kill it. And she can rap and talk about any dude that she wants to smash. I feel. That's what I think. I think when it comes to the situation, let's go into that conversation really quick, because there's a lot of people that will sit there. That's why she's getting a lot of backlash, because a lot of people will sit here and say, oh, she can't. She'll never, bed a Chris Hemsworth or a Drake, because of her size. This is the reason why I beg to differ. One, She freaking Lizzo. Do you know how many dudes out here that are ugly as sin, for example, that are successful or are movie stars that are straight smashing all day long, straight smashing because of their name? I mean, come on, look at Steve Buscemi, perfect example. No offense to Steve Buscemi, big fan, okay, talented dude, but he ain't the most classically good-looking person on this earth, and I'm sure he be knocking boots. I'm sure he getting any girl that he wants. I'm sure he has options. So when we look at somebody like Lizzo, there is a certain level of high value that she brings to the table. So as much as they say, oh yeah, Lizzo, she can't get nobody, that's a lie. I guarantee you she's doing just fine. Maybe it's not Chris Hemsworth, okay? I mean, the man is married, for example. But at the same time, for crying out loud, but at the same time, who's to say that she can't smash? I think that's just ridiculous. That suddenly because of her weight, that means that she can't be with somebody. You know what I mean? Zozo Bob said it perfect. I'm going to pull that one up really quick. Zozo Bob said something perfect right there. Bang. Lil Wayne is he ain't the greatest looking rapper. You know what I'm saying? He ain't the greatest looking rapper in the world. He been slaying. Man, he has options. Let's just say that in a nicer way. He got options. You know what I'm saying? He's slowed down, you know what I mean? From what we understand. But at the same time, when he was at the height of his career, shoot, he could have anybody he wanted. Same thing with Lizzo. So for everyone who sits there and says, oh yeah, you know, she capping. How dare she say anything about, man, you know, for a fact, she having fun. She's having her own version of a good old time. So when it comes to answering that situation, I don't think she has any problems, period. And it has, I feel like, you know, it has nothing to, I don't think her weight is slowing that down, period. I'm sure she's dodging left and right, you know? That's what I think on that in this situation. Also, I'll say this. Every artist has their moments where it's tough. Every person, when they do something like, you know, Mark said just a little bit ago, he said, hey, you remember when you were, you know, they locked down and you couldn't be on this channel and talk and you were thinking about quitting? Yeah, I had a moment for myself. You know, where it was like, I'm being stifled. I'm being stopped from doing what I love to do, which is talk to you guys, be on this microphone, this gorgeous microphone, and talk to you guys, you know, being able to, like, those things, when you hit these, when you're thrown curveballs sometimes, or when you walk into a dead end sometimes, or walk into a situation, you feel like it is a dead end. You know, this is a very lonely job. Being an artist or a creator is a very lonely and solitary job. A lot of times you're dealing with all the things yourself. You're coming up with things. You're trying to speak from your heart. You're trying to create that banger. You're trying to speak your mind about certain things. You're trying to create that really funny skit or that funny song or whatever. It's a very solitary job. It can be very lonely. And as you become more successful, you become a little bit more neurotic. And I think that's what's going on with Lizzo. She's becoming a lot more neurotic because she wants everything that she produces, everything that she puts out, to be stellar, to be diamonds. And that's a lot of pressure on a person. And so when you get all this backlash, and before it's like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? Saying whatever you know, not really caring, you know what I mean, about what people say. You just let it brush off, you know, roll off your back like it's nothing. After some time, when you're doing everything you can, when you're putting all your blood, sweat, and tears in this piece, you're putting your heart out there, and people are just going in on you, it can be really tough. It can be really, really tough. When you feel confident and you're going, yeah, I'm a bad bee. I could do anything. I'm confident. But then you just get a flood, like a tsunami of hate towards you for saying things that every other girl in other, like City Girls and Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj's, they're all saying the same ish. So why can't she? Oh, I could bang this guy and bang that guy and bag that dude and bag that guy. Why can't she do the same damn thing? She's a bad chick too. And she's successful at what she does. And she's doing exactly what these other girls are saying all day long. Except maybe she's just doing it in a more digestible manner. A more catchy tune. So I feel like some people just need to let Lizzo be. Leave her alone. Let her do her thing. Let her be dope. Let her keep making bangers. Let her be in her own lane because that's where she is. She's in her own lane. Real talk, that girl's got talent, man. I'm sorry. And I would hate for her talent to be stifled or snuffed out because of hate, because of trolls. So, I say, and I'm not sitting here like going, hey, I bought all of her albums and I got her T-shirts and all that. I'm not a stan. I'm not some fanboy or anything of that sort. I just believe in what she's doing. And I believe that what she's doing is something amazing and something positive and something different. But these trolls are messing with her head. And next thing you know, she's going to do everything else, everything that keeps people happy. And I think that's trash. I think what she's been doing, going against the grain, is working, and she shouldn't stop that ish. That's my personal opinion. There it is. So let's move on to the next story, y'all. We got another one. This one's very interesting. This has to do with, this is some crazy stuff, y'all. I feel like lately we've been talking about people's riches, right? People's finances, right? People's success. And a lot of these guys right here, we've talked about Dr. Dre and his daughter. We've talked about Quentin Tarantino and his amazing ability to hold a grudge for decades. Okay. Now we got to talk about Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig is saying something very, very interesting. It's right here for all y'all to see. This is insane to me. He says the James Bond star Daniel Craig, who I think is one of the best James Bonds we've ever had, in my personal opinion, aside from Sean Connery, shaken not stirred. He says he won't leave his fortune to his kids because inheritance is distasteful. What? Okay, we got to go to the story because this is some bull. This is some bullish. Okay, Daniel Craig recently stated that he will not be leaving his fortune to his children because he finds inheritance is distasteful. The actor, who has children with his ex-wife and current wife, opened up in his recent interview with Candace magazine on how he wants his money to be used while he's gone. Like I guess he believes in reincarnation or something. I don't know. While he's gone, is he going on vacation for a little bit and he's coming back to scoop up them bags? Never mind. Inquiring minds would like to know, though. I'm just saying, while he's gone. Okay, you mean when he's gone, right? Okay, never mind. Semantics. Moving on. Craig, who is reportedly worth $160 million. Okay, stated. Isn't there an old adage that if you die a rich person, you've failed? I'm just gonna let this marinate a little bit down into the marrow of your bones. Okay. So yes, Daniel Craig now is saying that he does not want to leave his fortune to his children. No. He thinks dying a rich person means that you failed. I don't know how that makes any bloody sense. But this be Daniel Craig. I mean, this dude, he a badass. Okay? And if you haven't seen Knives Out, man, do you need to go see that movie?
Nice.
He is so good in that movie. I'll give him props on that. But this, he's worth $160 million. You can't just shave off like a couple mil to the kitty kid? To your kids, these are your kin. You brought them in the world to make sure that they're okay. You work your balls off for $160 million for your lineage, for your legacy. And you're telling me you don't, bruh, come on now. Come on now. Like, I feel like I'd be going over to Pop being like, yo, Papa Craig, no. Give me some. Why? Why are you doing this to me, man? Like, I'd feel some type of way about this if I were the kids. Real talk, I'd feel some type of way about this. David, what do you think, man? I'm sorry. I'd be like, yo, no, Dad. Pops. Papa, don't do this. No. Leave the money. Like, I'd be like so mad. Why? Like, I feel like, what? No. Or I'd be like all the characters from Snatch. You know what I mean? Just putting up some kind of heist, trying to steal all that money somehow from the bank, wherever the hell the money is. You know what I mean? Like, man, you can't do this to it's the kids, though. Why are all these rich dudes that have been working their balls off for this money? Because, you know, $160 million is a lot of money. Does anybody really need all that money? Like, it's nice to show off. It's nice to have that money in your, to know in your mind you have multiple zeros in the bank account, right? It's humbling. Yes. You're not worried about going to the McDonald's and ordering a couple items off the dollar menu no more. You know what I'm saying? You can go there every day. But at the same time, you're not going to share, like, you're not going to just shave off a few ducats for your kitty kids, for your kin. I don't know. This seems weird to me. I hear also the same thing. Jackie Chan's doing the same thing. He's saying that he's taking all of his money, all the money that he's made. He is the biggest star. He's one of the biggest stars. And he is not going to give his children not one penny. He's going to go give it to a whole bunch of charities. I'm assuming that's the same thing that Daniel Craig's going to do. But bruh, why would you bring children into the world, work your balls off, if it's not to leave a legacy behind? Not even just a little bit, not even sprinkle a couple mil, like $1 million to each kid, depending on how many kids he has. I don't know how many kids he got. But bruh, you could throw off a couple mil. Come on, Daniel Craig. David, please talk to me, man. I just
want to disappoint you on this one, man.
I
just don't want to disappoint you on this one. I kind of agree with him. And so people are asking where he got that from. That's from Andrew Carnegie. That's right before he donated and built all the museums and schools throughout the country. So that's who he's quoting from. It is kind of the same as the Bible quote of rich man can't go through you probably know better than I do, Pascal. It's like a rich man going to heaven is like threading a camel through an eye of a needle or something.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is just kind of an idea. I generally do donate my excess wealth. I don't try to keep
look at you.
anything.
Look at you.
I do see it as, I think, a form of hoarding, but I ultimately think it's just really bad for the children.
Okay, wait. Time out. Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't, but I do. Hold on. Okay. I'm with you on that. Like, because wealth can ruin a child. I get that. And we do have a comment here from Goku just saying, I see what you did there. We don't need another Meghan McCann, Tucker Carlson, or Trump at the Pascal Show. Earn your own, fam. And I agree. I'm with you on that. Hold up. Just pause for a second. Time out. Here it is. I get it. Wealth can raise really snotty ass kids, right? I get that, right? That the kids don't know what it feels like to really earn a dollar, what it feels like to put in the blood, sweat, and tears and earn a real dollar. Now, here's something. This is a little bit of a throwback, but I'm going to say this anyway. It's kind of like what Ghost did in Power, okay? When spoiler alert, when he left this planet, okay, he had a will, And in his will, he said, my son, my, junior is going to get a certain amount once he graduates and finishes certain things. All this money is going to be held off until he does what he needs to do to plant his own feet on the ground and become a man. So there's certain things you can do to keep that kid focused on making things happen for themselves so that they earn their keep. And then, at a certain age, they get a lot of this certain amount of money. You see what I'm saying? I get it, giving the money to certain charities. I'm serious. Like, please send it to Parkinson's, like organizations that are trying to find research to Parkinson's, cancer, and AIDS. Please do as much as you can. Spread it as far as as the eyes can see. But at the same time, I feel like a little bit can be sent over to the children. I get the children being a pain in the ass, snotty ass, spoiled ass kids. I get that fully, but no money? This seems a little extreme to me.
Yeah, I imagine he's leaving them something. He might be leaving them a business or something. I mean, that's the thing with having a popular father like that. You get set up really easily. I mean, look at Hunter Biden. It's a perfect example. And it's also an example of how inheriting that wealth can make you such a terrible person. But I generally do think that if kids that inherit that much money where they don't really have to work, and not only, a lot of times it ends up with them being broke. I mean, you see a lot of people that get rich quick and then they blow all that money because they're used to blowing the money and not actually using it to grow their own value. And I think that is what this is in a lot of cases. I think it's better to set them up with some sort of work that they can continue on. And I'm sure he only has one kid, I believe. And I'm sure, and we see this all the time, that she'll be able to get into an acting career fairly easily just because of him. But yeah, I do think for the most part, the children should just have enough money to kind of get started, preferably enough to start comfortably, but they still need to work for it. Otherwise, they're going to just become, I guess, too much money makes people weak, and that makes them spend their money quickly without ever knowing how to actually manage it. And it kind of creates just this, that is, I think, a way a lot of generational wealth gets destroyed, is that the children are just given a ton of money with no sort of guide or control over that money, and then they just blow it all, and then the next generation is poor. I mean, we've talked about quite a few of those stories, in fact. So while I do think the father should set them up for the most part, I think giving the child that much money is a bad thing for them, even if it might seem to make their life easier in the time. An easy life isn't necessarily a good life.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you just said. None at all whatsoever. I do believe in children are the future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. But also, I do think that it is important that these children learn to earn their keep and learn that it's not just something where you just phone it in and you just still get millions of dollars. Or you stomp up and down and act a damn fool and have temper tantrums because you're used to getting your way or getting what you want, and this is what you're going to do. A lot of really crappy human beings have been bred and put out and raised this way, and some of them help run our country, and some of them ran our country. Some of them are still doing things just because of nepotism and the sort. So I agree on certain levels of things, but I do feel like every parent, every parent wants to leave something, a little something behind for their children. Now, I know it could be a little extreme, right? This whole idea of him not giving them one penny, I could see him going, hey, I'm going to give the money to these organizations, and then I'm going to have my son or my daughter or my children run this organization, right? So that they earn their keep and they learn the fundamentals of running a business or running an organization of that kind, right? So I'm with that all day long. But I do feel like, yes, please put that money towards something positive. But I feel like you can put some money to the side with a caveat, right? with a certain thing. Same thing with Jackie Chan, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars this man has grossed. He is worth millions, hundreds of millions, right? Part of me, he's one of the biggest stars in the world. Part of me thinks that, hey, son, daughter, whatever, you can have this. But there is a caveat on one condition or 17 conditions. You got to go and do this, this, and this, and this. You got to find the scroll. I don't know. You know what I mean? Find the Holy Grail. I don't give a damn. Anything, whatever it is that you feel that is going to make your children be forward-thinking members of society, not just some lazy slobs that don't know what it feels like to work.
And one thing I do want to say is, as far as the donations go, depending on how you do it, I mean, again, just go back to Carnegie, which is who he was quoting. Like, the dude was super rich. You know, he set up a lot of things that made the country what it was. But I don't think most people would actually remember. I mean, you know, people that studied would know his name, but like the average population would have probably forgotten his name. But just because everywhere you go, there's something major that was created by Carnegie, a museum, a zoo or something, or a school. Pretty much his children and his legacy are always going to be remembered by that name, and that's going to create an easier life for them, just because being a rich popular philanthropist carries its own rewards. And as it is unfortunately a fact that rich people and their children don't pay for the majority of things they get. It's given to them so that they can be associated with that wealth, and that's most likely what will happen to his children anyway. That's why you see so many of these corrupt children politicians, of everyone from Trump to Biden, and I mean, everyone really that has kids that is a politician, it seems like.
Yeah. Like I said, he is somebody who is of great wealth. He has found a lot of success in so many different ways with his acting and all that. I think he's a great actor. I'm a big fan of Daniel Craig. I just hope that whatever he ends up doing, he just puts off a little bit for the family, for his kin, at least from where I come from and how I was brought up. You always do everything to make sure that when you do leave this planet, your family is taken care of. I've seen that with my own father, which, by the way, his birthday's coming up soon, actually this weekend. But he did everything he could to make sure that my mom and my family would need for nothing. And I just feel like you got to at least leave a little bit of something on the side for your family, for the people that you love, for your legacy, for your lineage. But then the rest, hey, do your philanthropic thing. You know what I mean? Do what you need to do, baby. Because a lot of organizations would be very happy with that 160 mil. 160 mil, y'all. Damn. Okay. I'm all about that all freaking day long. But leave some for the kids. He has, I think, at least 2 kids, by the way.
Yeah, does he?
So at least for the kids. Yeah, he's got kids from his previous marriage and the marriage that he has right now. So he has more than one, at least. Okay. So just leave a little bit. Sprinkle a couple mil. But put something like kind of caveat on it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, like I'll say right now, hey, that ain't my money. Okay? That's his business. If he wants to do that, hey, you do what you need to do. All right? But at the same time, if there is an organization over here, it's called the Pascal Show. You want to throw a couple mil over here? We'd be very happy to take it from you, Mr. Daniel Craig. Papa Craig, holla at your boy. Anyway, well, let's go into this next segment. It is time for a little Ask Pascal. I'm very excited about this. Yeah, go ahead.
We actually just had Madeline Reed, I think it was, asked if she could call in on the topic we were just talking about while we were talking.
Sure, you're more than welcome to not call in, but I'm going to give you this the link. Okay, the link is in the chat right now as we speak. By all means, click on it, jump on. We are not taking phone calls. We are only taking the link through this app right here. So please click on that, jump on. If you got a question for me, please, jump on if it's over any of the topics that we have talked about, or or this topic that we have just talked about. You're more than welcome to jump on, but keep it short, keep it sweet, and let's get moving. We have Madeline Reed in the house. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We good. We good. It's great to see your face.
Yours too, every day.
I appreciate it. So what's on your mind? Let's speak on it.
First of all, I'm lost on the weekends when there is no live Pascal. So I still find myself trying to refresh your page on Saturdays and Sundays, knowing that you're not going to go live, but I'm still doing it. Second of all,
well, to answer that really quick, I am working on trying to get some stuff on the weekends back up and running again. It's just been I've been moving back and forth a lot lately, and so I might do one. It'll be a short, speak on it Saturday type thing this Saturday.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Second of all,
okay,
I'm just wondering, the kids of these celebrities, are they really so entitled to think that all of their parents' wealth should go to them? That's my thought process. There's more people that are deserving of that money, and more organizations that deal with helping battered women escape their relationships. There's organizations that help with human trafficking. There's organizations that help with so much more humanitarian things that I'm sure these celebrities are aware of.
Right.
And are probably wanting to, give a lot of their money to. I'm just wondering what makes their kids feel like they deserve that money.
Well, I mean, the assumption is real. I mean, let's be real. A lot of kids are going to automatically think, well, my father makes a whole bunch of money. He's killing it in the game. And I know for a fact I'm at least going to get something. Right.
I mean, yeah, but I would expect more of possessions than the money. Because, some of the possessions, get handed down.
True.
Through generations.
True.
And those things are far more meaningful than freaking money.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to this, yes, there's a lot of kids that would automatically assume that they're getting their money and all that. I think that also, and it is kind of cocky for a child to automatically assume that they're going to get everything. But isn't that the case, though? Isn't that the story of a lot of movies that we see all the time, where it's like, oh, I thought I was going to inherit I thought I was going to inherit the company, but then it's like, well, son, you've been acting like a dumbass for your entire life. You haven't shown any responsibility that you can do anything. You're just basically living off of me. You step up, show that you can do the damn job or run this company, and you may inherit it, or you may get a job and work your way up to inheriting and running and owning this business in the future. But for right now, you ain't shown me nothing. So I see a lot of kids being cocky like that, being.
It's also
like
the
that.
fact that some of these people are probably true crime fanatics like I am, and like other people have said in the chat. That just gives you incentive. That just gives your kids incentive to kill your ass before you're even ready to naturally die.
Right. It's funny because Kev Z247 just said, better watch some true crime stories. See how them kids will murk that ass over money. And that's absolutely true. I mean, you better keep your head on a swivel when you say something like that. They're gonna be like, say what? What did you just say? You gonna do? Wait, what? We ain't getting nothing.
No. I'm saying, like, if they were to get the inheritance, if they knew they were going to get the inheritance of that much money, they would either fight about who gets what, or they would plot together to get them killed so they get that money sooner instead of waiting for them to die.
Gotcha.
So maybe he was influenced by working on that movie.
Yeah,
Knives Out.
Maybe he
Well, there's a
realized.
lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
There's, I mean, I don't know if anybody else in the chat's ever heard of the story of these two brothers that killed their parents in the 80s because they were starting to cut them off or whatever. It's one of the more well-known true crime cases, but yeah, these kids were just so incredibly spoiled throughout their whole lives and entitled that when they became adults and they started spending all this money and doing all this stuff and their parents were starting to get tired of it, they decided that they were better off with their parents killed and tried to play it off like they didn't do it. And they set it up, and it was, it happens far more than you realize. But people will kill people for money that
Facts.
that they're related to. They
Oh
will
yeah.
kill your family.
I mean, I am hopeful that it doesn't go to that level. I don't think it would go to that
You never know.
that dramatic place, but I'm sure after this, and when people read about this story and people talk about this story, I think it'll be people will react, and I'm sure it will say something in the, I think he'll change his mind or something and go, wait a second, I wasn't saying all my riches. I'm going to give some of it to the children. Hold up, don't get twisted.
They should get what's left over from his life insurance. I think at least it's probably pretty hefty considering how much he's worth.
True.
Right, and there's cases where if you don't have something specifically written down, there are certain things that will automatically go to next of kin. And if Daniel Craig doesn't have a spouse by then it will naturally go to the kids. But if not, if he doesn't have something that's in writing and legally legally recognized, then it's just automatically gonna go to them anyway.
Yeah,
the estate.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful things will change for the better here in the near future. The Menendez brothers.
Yes.
Bold
Yes.
PD1 just said. And
Thank
you so much.
you.
Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. But Madeline, thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate the conversation. Okay, we'll be talking.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
The thing is, the thing, like, what's funny is, like, there's a lot of people out here that are going to think otherwise. They're going to, like, respond in a certain way or feel some type of way and all that. When hearing about this story, and like I said, I don't blame them for just reacting in a way. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with I think the kids going, well, wait a second, I thought that we would just get a little bit of something. I mean, even myself hearing this kind of story, it's like, wow, that's a little nutty. Now, if these kids were trying to bleed the bleed Daniel Craig dry kind of thing, and they're just always assuming that they're going to get something from him, that's another thing. You see what I'm saying? That's another story. But when it comes to this, it just seems, like I said, it just comes out of left field in a little bit, but it is his money, to each their own. He's allowed to do or spend his money however he sees fit, and all that. So there it is. You know what I mean? So guys, the link is up. I'm going to throw it up one more time. I'm going to throw it up one more again. Yeah, if you guys are interested in jumping on, you got a question for me, you want to chop it up, you got a question to specifically ask me, by all means, I would really appreciate it. Love to hear your thoughts, questions about things that are going on. No pressure. No pressure at all. Hold on. Okay. That's wild. Okay. But yeah, by all means, don't be shy. Jump on. The link is above. And yeah, let's keep it moving.
One other thing I just thought of actually is like Daniel Craig, his family will still probably get the royalties from his films as well once he's gone, won't they? I think so.
I mean, if he passes it on to them, sure.
Yeah.
If he writes it on and he says, okay, the Craig family or whatever it's called, gets all his royalties for everything that he does, that could be it too. He could honestly do that and give it to his kids or give it to his family that way too. It's just interesting. I mean, like Susan Bradley Scovs just said, and thank you for the comment on YouTube. She said, my partner and I have 5 kids between us. We have to make sure that the surviving partner has a place to live and enough to live on. And I totally agree. You see what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't automatically mean like, bye. You know what I mean? See you later. It's been real. Thank you for the years and years of you taking care of me. I really appreciate it. I'm leaving you nothing. I just think that's a little bit far-fetched. We got Mara Charisse. Am I right? Is it Mara Charisse?
I call things. I want you to say my name right. It's Mara Charisse. So
Mara Charisse. Sorry, I am so sorry. Mara Charisse in the house. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm good. I just had a thought about this. Maybe he doesn't like these kids.
He hates them kids.
I mean, I'm looking at Soulja Boy just signed Chet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Chet Hanks?
And I wouldn't give my money to Chet. So maybe he doesn't like these kids. Maybe those particular kids are not our kids, right? So like I'm giving all my money to to kids I like. Maybe he's like, these particular people.
These particular people that came from my loins, I don't like.
Not my hard work. Because not everybody's kids are like them. Sorry, that's my dog. Not everybody's kids are like them. Not everybody's kids are really like, especially if they're grown kids and you're really seeing their personalities come out. And you're like, maybe you need to go at it the hard way.
I feel you. I mean, that's a strong possibility. Real talk. That could very well be it. He could literally be like
somebody cutting off a Trump. I could see that.
Word.
I could see them like, not him. No, I could see somebody cutting off. There's a Kennedy running around causing a lot of trouble with black folks. I could see somebody cutting him off.
I mean, I could see a person cutting off a person like Chet Hanks. I could see that. I could see a dad being like, nah. Like, we ain't about to
you have trouble. I gave the money to your aunt. Call your aunt if she feels inclined to help you with some bills, but not you directly. Right. I could see that. So I just had a thought, like, because my parents are in their 70s and they're dealing with a lot of like older folks and talking about some of their friends are going into homes now and they're like, you wouldn't do that to us. I'm like, well, you were good parents. You're assuming your friends were too.
Right. No, and you got you could very well be right. He could really be just like, I don't like my kids. My kids are spoiled as hell. And right now, until they show me otherwise, they ain't getting not one dime. And I feel like that's a lot of other kids too. When it comes to the possibility of Jackie Chan's kids, they could all just be super, super spoiled, and he's like, hey, I broke every bone in my body for all this money, for all of my wealth, literally broke every bone in his body for every single dollar that I've earned. I've broken every single bone in my body at least 3 or 4 times, and these kids, my snotty ass kids, don't even appreciate the hard work that I've done, and for them to enjoy the spoils of my labor. So yeah, I'm with it all day long. I mean, I could see it happening, and Chet Hanks, I mean, have you seen him?
Have you seen him? Have you seen him though? Like it's like
Boba Clock. You know what I mean? Boyaka. Like I've seen
we
it.
didn't even know he existed. I saw the other kids.
Yeah.
I saw the other kids. I didn't know Chet was out there. So
He was out here though.
Maybe he has a Chet. Maybe there's a Chet. You know, and because I mean, my parents are going through it right now. My brother is older and a little wayward. I love him, my best friend. A little wayward.
Mm-hmm.
Who's getting the money? This one.
Word.
I'm getting the money. He's not on the papers. I'm on the paper.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna do something stupid with it. That's all. You ain't gonna do.
And then, like, if he needs, I am gonna give. But if they put him on the paper, they're worried about him giving to me. Some kids aren't. Money is funny. Money is a funny thing. And it turns people all kinds of ways. And they like, maybe my kids aren't the best shepherds of this money.
Yeah, you can say that again. Some of them aren't. Some of them aren't equipped to run financials or even know how to do anything with money and the sort. So yeah, I'm with it all day long. I mean, some people are just not equipped for it, you know. Or some of them are too busy having a good ass time that they're not.
Yeah, they're like, the money I gave you so far, you ain't doing the right thing. So I'm not sure about giving you now all these millions, and there's no actual person in between you and this bank account. But
exactly, it's like you sure you can run this money? You sure you're not gonna snort all this money up your nose or smoke all of it or drink all of it?
We don't know.
You sure?
Right?
Yep.
Like, we don't know who these kids are. So, and I just wanted to thank you. You had me like crying last night, like tears. Like
Dang.
That late night show. I wasn't equipped. I wasn't prepared. I thought it was gonna be same as the morning show. The lady called in. I fell out. Like I just thank you for that. I had a long day at work and I needed that because I was still kind of working during the show, and I was like, let me just close this laptop because I don't know what I'm typing right now. I'm crying.
Pascal's a funny man.
I like having fun. I like having good conversations with people. You know what I mean?
Wasn't prepared. No one warned me. I came from Benjamin Dixon's show. He didn't tell me. He didn't give me any just watch out for that guy. No one told me, and
watch out for that guy.
Now I know. Now I know. So.
Word. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to check me out and check out the show, and I'm glad I made you laugh. You know what I mean? It's hard out here for a pimp. You know what I mean? Let's be straight funky. You know, it's not the easiest thing nowadays to just laugh and have a good chuckle. You know, life has been it's been very trying as of recently. So I appreciate you being able to just I'm happy that I was able to make you smile, and everybody else that's been watching the show as of late. You know what I mean? We need to talk about things. Yeah, absolutely. But we also need to we need some time to just laugh and just let it all out. Like
that was therapy. I was falling out. But they called me back into work, so I gotta go.
No, go ahead. It's Mara Charisse, right?
Mara Charisse, yeah.
Mara Charisse, thank you so much for being on, sweetheart.
No problem. Thanks.
No
Bye.
problem. You know, I love it. I appreciate the new faces. I appreciate everybody who's coming on and being a part of the show and getting to know the show and getting to know me and enjoying the laughter or enjoying the opportunity to sit back and just smile and laugh. It does really mean a lot. We are here to get through it together. You see what I'm saying? We're here to get through this BS and all the crazy curveballs that are getting thrown at us every single day, almost every single minute nowadays. You know, we're here to get through it together. You know what I mean? We're here to try to take a few swings at those curveballs and knock them right out the damn park. You see what I'm saying? But I do appreciate, let me just say this, all y'all for being on today. I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? You guys are all really amazing. That is the show today. David had to jump off because he got things to do. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who came on today. Okay. Thank you to David. Thank you to all y'all who came on. Mara Charisse and Madeline for coming on and chopping it up with me and everything. I really do appreciate it. All right. Shout out to all the new faces and all the love. I really do appreciate all y'all coming on. If you haven't done it yet, please go hit that like button down below. Also, most importantly, hit that subscribe button, crush it, nuke it, you know what I mean? Caress it, whatever you need to do. Just hit that subscribe button and most definitely just destroy that notification bell so that you know when I go live, because sometimes I go live sporadically or I do some pop-up videos as well for all y'all who are new to the show that don't know much about this. So I really do encourage you. I beg of you, please crush that subscribe button, okay? I appreciate it. I love all you guys. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day. I will have some pop-up videos coming out here in the very near future, so be on the lookout for those later on today. I might come on tonight. Mark just asked, show tonight? I might come on tonight. I might. I'll be on tonight, okay? For 1 hour only, okay? 1 hour only, okay? At 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're wanting to chuckle, cut it up, have a good old time, that would be really great to have you guys on with me and we can go through some of this ish together. Because I think like a lot of us didn't know about last night's show. So I would love for you guys to come on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come join the fun. Come join the laughter. We're going to be talking about all gang of different things. So you definitely want to tune in. But it's only for 1 hour. So it's going to be funny, fun, and fast for 1 hour. All right? Tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Anyway, it is time to get going. I love all y'all. Love your faces. And I'll see you guys tonight. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. See you guys later. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
The problem with coyotes is they're super unpredictable.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for calling Wildlife Command Center.
My name is Michael Baran.
Also known as Bare Hands Baran. We rescue people from wild animals, but we also rescue the animals from the situation that they've gotten themselves into.
My dad's approach to wildlife management can be considered a little bit more wild.
Working barehanded is just easier on the animal.
No.
Working with my son Chance,
Working with a lot of dedicated technicians.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really special.
We're gonna be able to release this guy. He's gonna be just perfect.
That's why I wake up every morning excited to start a brand new adventure. Whoops. And I wouldn't trade this job for anything in the world.